Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Verneda Adele tapping in. I am your anti-racist event executive producer, and in this space, we are all about fortifying, uplifting, preparing our emerging event producers or our seasoned producers who are ready to strike out on their own, to create their own companies, to go independent, to whether you want to be an independent producer, self-employed. If you want to grow your own agency around event production, this is the space for you. So today we have a really fun topic. It's going to be short and sweet. We're going to come to you some tips because I'm going to ask you this question like, do you know? Are you aware? Are you clear on your event's brand story and how being clear and unclear is the difference between making dollars and not making dollars? Okay. So if this is your first time with me, I am with over 20 years of event production experience. I built a multiple six-figure event production company, all by word of mouth. Shout out to direct referrals. That is another video. Check the list. But we are going to talk today about part of that value add that I was able to bring. And shout out to my company, Production by Human Intonation, and all of our team members who have worked with us over the years. Part of what was able to create that value is helping our clients get super, super clear about their brand story. And this is regardless of whether they were corporate, but where I really found it that the client was often most challenged around their brand story as it would relate to the event was particularly with nonprofits and fundraising events. So three quick tips around ensuring that your event brand story is clear. This is a process that I often take clients through, and so I'm going to share it here with you today. One, begin with that brainstorming session. Now, when you have the brainstorming session, because we talked about our OTB in an earlier video, what you must bring with you to that brainstorming session is your objectives. You need to have your objectives, your fundraising objectives. You need to have your marketing objectives. You need to have your community impact objectives with that event. Bring that to the table. And often within those objectives, we start to map out what are the 3 to 5 key messages that you want your audience to take away with. Now, the thing with nonprofits and why it's often so hard for them to tell their story is because they do so much. Like, even if a nonprofit is in a niche space, like today is National Women and Girls HIV and AIDS Awareness Day. So shout out to some of our clients that we've worked with over the years that are in the HIV and AIDS space. They are particularly focused on this communicable disease and recovery from it and eradicating it, but they do so much. So many of these organizations around HIV and AIDS aren't just about treatment, medical treatment. There's social services, there's housing, there's food programs, there's art programs. There's so many things to address the whole person that it can become very difficult very quickly to tell their whole story. So you got to break it down. They might do 20 things, but on that particular year, you're going to break it down to 3 to 5 takeaways that you want. Number 2, start creating your storyboard. Who are the characters that are going to be at the forefront of your brand story for this event? So this could be families, this could be individual constituents, this could be a really amazing initiative or program. Whatever that North Star is and whoever those characters are that represent that North Star, that is the next piece because they will all tie into ultimately your brand story. And then third, which is last, but certainly not least, now that you have clarity on your 3 to 5 takeaways and you know who are your main characters who will embody those takeaways, now it's time to set up your theme. And this is the part that can be the most challenging because your theme, and I don't mean cabaret night, I do not mean, Lord help us, Egyptian calypso. What I mean is a succinct phrase that will be associated with your event. So one of our clients that was in the housing space, the last event that we produced for them, the ultimate theme of the event was Blueprint for Housing Justice. Oh, so good. So good. And there was so much we could do with that. Because with Blueprint for Housing Justice, we could tie in specifically 3 to 5 key takeaways around that theme. We could have We can incorporate the main characters who exemplified those 3 to 5 takeaways, and to package it, to put a nice bow around it, create that theme, get the executive team involved, get board members involved if it makes sense, get your top management involved, get some of your constituents involved, ask for feedback, and identifying that theme, and then have an amazing graphic designer, which that'll be another video about the key team players that you need as an executive producer to make your event go well. Be able to visually create a visual imprint of that theme. So this is, and then, the last thing I will say, because all these things could be broken down into several videos, is to understand that once you have locked in on your event's brand story, there's the visual piece of it, there's the on-stage piece of it, there's the in-the-room piece, and there is what I love doing is parsing out the video presentation of that theme. So each of those will be upcoming videos and events, and videos on events and event production. But the foundation of it is that you must go into your event with a clear understanding of your event's brand story. All right, tap in at Verneda Adele on all platforms. We'll see you back here next Tuesday, and let the world know how you'll use your hot sauce today.